Hey there, this is Jacob Corey Gold, and I'm happy to be the host for all the things light. For the last, I don't know, 20 years, at least 20 years, I've been saying I'm on my way somewhere. And it's evolved until we're on our way somewhere. And more recently, it evolved to we're on our way to oneness. And I think I've been ending these episodes by saying, let us continue to walk towards the light. When we say we're on our way somewhere, on my way somewhere, that implies that that's somewhere off in the future. And also, when I say I'm on my way to oneness, that also means or it can imply that it's sometime in the future. I have been struggling here recently to really wrap my mind around what it means to be present. And the thought just came today that said, wait a minute, if you're always on your way somewhere, how are you ever in the present? If you've never arrived, how are you always in the present? How can you never look towards the future? Which is what I advocate. There is no such thing as the past or future. There's only now. And so the things that we have taught ourselves and trained ourselves have really put us at a disadvantage. Because again, if we are fully present, how can I ever be on my way somewhere? I've said before that, even now it's raining outside. It's been raining all day. As a matter of fact, it's nighttime. And so the sun isn't there, but the sun is there. Um, in as much as we may not acknowledge that we are fully present, that we are fully whole, that we are worthy, that we are holy now, does not mean that we are not worthy and holy and loved and have not arrived now. I would say that we have arrived. We are the generation of the light. We are at the light. The light comes from within. And so, how is it that we can catch up to our future now? That's really the question. And so, I've been thinking again about what does it mean to be fully present? We experience all kind of wonderful things. And my goal has always been, for instance, I've seen glimpses of the light. I've had experiences of glimpses of the light. I want to be fully in it, right? And in as much as I am, sometimes those thoughts are fleeting. Those joy thoughts are fleeting. Those I feel fully loved thoughts, they're fleeting. Sometimes you just don't feel it. But then we have to lean into the knowing it. And so that's where a phrase like I'm on my way somewhere can encourage also, can make you realize that in as much as I may not feel it in this moment, um, that moment is coming. That moment is in me. That moment has already occurred because we've experienced love, we've experienced joy, right? And so, how is it that we bring those moments of joy in the present and bring that thought forward? Because in those moments, in that acknowledgement, there's fullness of joy. When we are aware and acknowledging love in the present, there is fullness of peace. There are no degrees of separation. There's no a little bit of love, a little bit of joy, a little bit of peace. No, it's all encompassing. And so the task before us is when we are experiencing those moments, there may be a thought of someone that comes to mind. Reach out, reach out and touch because your tug, your pull, your touch could bring them into that moment of full joy, of remembering, hey, Not only does somebody love me, I am loved. Not only is somebody looking out for me, the creator, love, life, creation itself, the universe is looking out for me, is tapping me on the shoulder to say, hey, come on up here. And when I say up here, come in the present, come in the present, be in the present, be in the present, live in the present, fullness of joy in the present, fullness of peace in the present. And so acknowledging and again, being aware of this uh, sets us up for success every day. Sets us up for being able to help and be somebody else's miracle, be healing and be joy for someone else, be forgiveness, be likeness for someone else. Because in those moments where you may need it, somebody's going to reach out. And so in the moments where, again, you're you have an opportunity to show love in the present, do it. I've said before that, and I'm still wrapping my mind around this. I'm really wrapping the present. I'm becoming aware of what it means to be in the present. And so far, I've learned these three things. It's about being creative in the present. And what I've learned about being creative is it's not about drawing or writing something or painting a beautiful painting or sculpting. It's not about the architecture or any of that. It's about creating the space in the world where you have joy. It's creating that space. It's creating the harmony between you and existence. Living in that sort of harmony uh, will show up and fix things for themselves. And so, what I mean by that, I mean, and I've said this before, I got an empty sink downstairs because what it is that I want to create, it's like I want it to be clean. Um, what oftentimes I have music playing, or sometimes I'm fully silent because that's the environment, the atmosphere that I want to create, that I can be fully restful and not have to feel like I got to be doing something all the time. So that's what it means. And again, I'm still learning how to fulfill being creative within my existence. There's also the opportunity to show love. I just mentioned that. And showing love can show up in the way that I treat myself. I've said before, the way that we speak to ourselves is heaven on earth. And moving forward, the way that I speak to myself, the way that I speak to you, the way that I speak to my brothers and my sisters, it's got to represent heaven on earth. And if it's not there, if there are moments where it doesn't quite fit the bill, again, I'm on my way somewhere. But in as much as we are fully there right now, the awareness that I have to show love, the awareness that I have to be kind and be aware of my tone, be aware of my attitude. If you're fully present, the opportunity is to show love in those ways. Yield the driveway. In other words, if I'm driving, if somebody is coming up behind me, I yield. I get on over, let them have it. I'm not gonna fight you. Mm-mm. As a matter of fact, everything we do, we're teaching people. I'm learning that every single thing we do. I've learned that in working with young people. They will watch me, they will watch, they would hear the words that I would say. And I've had young people say, man, uh, you always smiling. Are you ever sad? I've had children actually ask me that. And we have days where, yeah, of course, sadness comes, but it doesn't stay, it doesn't remain. Because I know who I'm supposed to represent. I know who I'm representing. And the light is never dull. And so to get tired of having a smile, to get tired of showing joy, it's like getting tired of living your life out loud, being the expression of your creator. And what my creator wants to express through me is joy all the time. And in those moments where I don't live up to that mark, it's like, okay, I'm still getting there. I'm still arriving, but I'm not going to quit. Again, I'm on my way somewhere right now. I'm on my way somewhere. And being aware of those moments is like, okay, yes, remember, you must treat your brothers and sisters with love and kindness. And so the other opportunity there is, like I said, it's being creative, it's showing love, and it's expressing gratitude. Those are the three things that I'm learning how to live out loud and being present. I don't have to look towards the future or towards this fictitious future, say, oh, yeah, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. Yeah, you may not never get there. But in as much as you can get to a place of love all the time, get to a place of creativity all the time, be in a place of gratitude all the time, that's where we want to be. Motivation cannot be based on anything external. Say it again, the motivation cannot be based on anything external. That will always lead to more questions. That will always lead to more external wants because the external cannot satisfy the internal. I remember Christ, he said in one of the passages to his disciples, he said, I have meat to eat that ye know not of. What does that mean? I'm not eating all this. There's an opportunity to eat from joy, to eat from the well of love, to dine at the table of forgiveness, of temperance, of meekness. That's those are edibles. Those are things that can satisfy our soul. That's not external. It's not a physical thing that can please us. I said on the previous episode, it said, I holy. I was talking about the fact that we have these inanimate objects giving themselves pronouns, right? A car is saying I. Well, in as much as we live in this body, we are not this body. So, um, clothes and food, nutrition, right? That can satisfy this body. Having shelter, it's a beautiful thing, can satisfy this body. But love cannot satisfy this body. Joy cannot satisfy this body. Joy and love satisfy your innermost being, your true self. There's nothing that can satisfy this body because this body is just like that vehicle. It's going to be programmed by the owner, by the manufacturer. And so my car is programmed and has all these senses to park itself. So it shouldn't say take your hands off the wheel. I'm going to park. It should say the car is going to park itself. It's been the car is programmed to park itself. Here's the button. The car has sensors. It'll drive itself. This body is tuned in to what you program it to be. So there's no more, oh, I have this craving. That's all in your mind. You did it. The body didn't do it. Body didn't do anything to you. The body is your vehicle to learn, your vehicle to get from one place to the other. But this body saying I and this body wanting stuff, no, that's in our mind. That's in my mind. And so that goes to show you that love again can only satisfy your innermost. That's the only thing that brings joy. A car can't bring me joy. Can't. Money cannot. Biggest house in the world cannot. But those intangible things, those invisible things, those light thoughts that we have all the time that we fail to acknowledge, that we fail to just really appreciate. Um, that's where life really happens. I wrote something the other day, and I want to read it before we get off here, before I sign off. But it's titled "What If Love." Questioning, pondering, wondering all lead to what if thoughts in my mind. A never ending trail, a path leading to more pondering and wondering. That sort of existence leads me to more questions than answers. But I am told that the answer is inside of me. True. So what So, how do I look within? Listen. What am I listening for? Love. When love is the answer, all what ifs cease. When love settles the score, the only response is peace. There is no competition, jealousy, judgment, or any other sign of separation when the answer is love. Let us continue to walk towards the light together. Thank you for listening. Grace.